Excuse me, do you know why we pulled you over today? Exactly, it's because you're not subscribed. So you better fix that right now, or we're gonna have to take you in. Anyways, iPad Pro with wireless charging, iPad Air 5, the iPad 10 reported to debut in 2022. I mean, you want to do the honors here? Sharon? Let's keep it bumping.
iPad Pro with wireless charging, iPad Air 5, and iPad 10 reported to debut in 2022. Apple is preparing to update 3 of its iPad models in 2022, including the entry-level iPad, iPad Air, and iPad Pro, according to Bloomberg's Mark Gurman.
Marky!
In his latest Power On newsletter, Gurman reiterated Apple's plans to release a new iPad Pro in 2022, featuring a new design and wireless charging, and clarified the company's intention to release new versions of the entry-level iPad and iPad Air.
So, the entry-level iPad, right? I feel like I have seen so many of these entry-level iPads in the school. But apart from that, I haven't really seen them. The Air is very popular. I really see the Air everywhere. I would say the Pro is something that I'm not sure how many Pros I actually see. Most of the Pros that I see are either the 2018 one, but I haven't really seen especially the latest one and also the 2020 one. The 2020 version. I haven't seen those Pros a lot in the wild. I've seen the Pro as in like the 2018 a lot. I feel like a lot of people, that was like a super cycle. And a lot of people are just waiting for the next design, right? But yeah, the Air and obviously the normal iPad are so popular, dude. It's insane. I've seen them everywhere.
In his latest Power On newsletter,
Thank you very much.
The level iPad received a moderate update this year, adding the A13 chip, True Tone, and a 12MP ultra-wide front camera with center stage for video calls. Apple has released new versions of the entry-level iPad every year since 2017, often with minor specification and chip upgrades to maintain the device's low price.
This is true.
The new version for 2022 is in line with previous years. That being said, there is as yet no indication of what the 10th generation iPad could feature. Initial rumors suggested that this year's entry-level iPad would feature a thinner design and a chassis similar to the iPad Air 3 and larger display, but this failed to materialize with the device's launch in the fall. It is not beyond the realm of possibility to speculate that this design could instead be headed for the 10th generation version of the iPad. While there were initially multiple rumors of an iPad Air with a Samsung OLED display for 2022, this device is reportedly cancelled. Yeah, I would say, I'm not sure if they would do an OLED for an Air and then the mini LED for the Pro. That would be a little bit weird for some reason. It feels weird. I'm not sure. While there were initially multiple rumors of an iPad Air with a Samsung OLED display for 2022, this device was reportedly cancelled and it appears that the next iPad Air will stick with LCD technology. Other rumors about the 5th generation iPad Air have been scanned, but it seems highly likely that it will at least be brought up to spec with the iPad mini. The iPad mini features the A15 Bionic chip, 5G connectivity, and center stage. All of these aspects debuted in Apple devices after the 4th generation iPad Air's introduction in September 2020, but with the iPad Air now being without an update for over a year, Gurman's report reaffirms the future of the device in the iPad lineup.
I mean, yeah, it's just like, I would say that like updating every iPad every single year is just not going to work, right? iPads do not sell as much as the iPhone, and it's good to just wait a little bit before you update the iPad. And we didn't really hear too much about the iPad Pro wireless charging. I see that misgivings and like wireless charging on the iPad, but I think yeah, it is something that would be realistic, right? I'm not sure. Like obviously everyone has their own opinion, but I'm very curious to see how they're going to implement that in an iPad. Like I'm sure everyone is very interested in that. Are they going to do it with the little MagSafe plug, or are they going to do it in a different way? Like how? I'm maybe with like the case, the smart keyboard case, or the Magic keyboard case. I mean, but then again, like where is the battery coming from? It is already sort of doing that, right? So is the battery going to be in the keyboard? I'm not sure. It's also like reverse wireless charging the keyboard, or not? Well, it's wireless. It's not charging. It's wireless. How do you say? Powering the keyboard. So I'm not too sure about how that's going to work. If I'm completely honest. And like I said, OLED on the iPad Air is probably not going to be a thing. Not before it comes to the Pro, I would say. But yeah, I don't know. This is just something. These are things, right? Like nobody knows. Nobody knows for sure. Mark Gurman doesn't know for sure. This is just predictions and rumors. But I think we're getting close to something that is very interesting. We're getting close to a mixed reality world, a VR world, if you may, AR to VR. And obviously we're getting towards the end of physical computers, or at least a lot of physical computers. So yeah, in about 10 to 20 years, I would say that is definitely going to happen. And this is very exciting. This is very exciting a time to be alive in. I mean, the EU is basically forcing them to do this. You mean the wireless charging? Yeah, I mean, the EU wants to get rid of all the proprietary charging, right? But they can't do anything about wireless charging, especially not if it's cheap charging. Apple just has to find a way to make it some sort of MagSafe, right? I'm not sure how they're going to do that. Now, obviously, everyone wants a universal standard and stuff like that, but the problem with universal standards is that they're slow, and it takes a long time to update them. And people will point out all the shit that has been unupdated on Lightning, obviously. And there is a lot of that. But for me, the biggest problem with charging my phones was that I couldn't just put it in and do it with a peace of mind. Something would break, something would fail, all the time. And Lightning solved that problem for the first time for me, ever, back in the day. And that is the most important thing for me. Now, could they just have updated it to USB 3.0? Yeah, for sure, obviously. They already have, they had dongles with Lightning that actually boosted the performance to a USB 3 speed. I'm not sure why they didn't put it into the rest of the universe of Lightning ports. But it was there. I'm not sure what happened there. Like I'm not defending that. I'm not defending the speeds or whatever. What I am defending though is that I feel like what is most important, at least to me, is obviously that the port and how it works. So yeah, that's it. And I don't want to get stuck with something that is just stuck with EU regulators, and just like in the US, it's just going to take years before we get onto the next technology. So I rather have something that fixes my most important gripes with the technology. And yeah, I mean, I personally use AirPlay anyway. That doesn't solve the problem, or AirDrop, and the cloud and whatever. That doesn't solve the original problem. I'm not saying that now it's fine. I'm just saying that, yeah, I mean, it already fixes the main problem that I feel like most people had, and that's that the charging port would die by normal use, right? For no reason, just because of that stupid, dumb-ass micro USB port that I feel like it's a crime, a hate crime against all humanity. Anyways, I think they will make the jump to micro LED in like a few years. Yeah. I mean, probably. I mean, yeah. Like, the main issue, right? The main issue with micro LED right now, and they will have to figure that out for the glasses as well, so they will probably figure it out. micro LED gets just really, really hot. So they will have to find a way to let's say cool it down. And the moment they find a way to do that, that would definitely fix a lot of issues for all sorts of devices. Maybe even the Apple Watch could get micro LED. The MacBooks could get micro LED. But yeah, if you will have to cool the display down, well, that's going to be problematic, right? Like, everyone can understand that is going to be problematic. So we need to find a way to get that done in a different capacity where everyone can just use it without being constrained. And well, in terms of heat, obviously, well, burning your display, burning your finger by using the iPad display, right? So I'm not sure how hot it gets. Again, I've never used the display technology, but I've heard that it needs separate cooling. Hence the fan in obviously the mixed reality glasses that are allegedly coming with fans. So yeah, I'm not sure, dude. There is so much that can happen. I would love reverse wireless charging on the iPad Dome. Yeah, I mean, it sort of does that, right? By reverse wireless powering the Magic Keyboard. But yeah, reverse wireless charging on an iPad does make more sense than an iPhone. Because you will have more headspace in terms of battery. But also, how would you do that? Would you do it on the back? Because then, I mean, when are you actually going to use it? When you're not using your iPad? I mean, it could work. But also, then you couldn't use the device until you're satisfied with the charging of your iPhone. This is something that Apple obviously thinks about, right? Like that scene in the movie about Steve Jobs when he said, like, the Newton, for example, you're using your entire hand for one pencil. What are you doing with the rest of the fingers then? Why are you wasting all those input? All that input, you're just wasting it. And that's probably what you're going to do with something like reverse wireless charging. But maybe they will find a way, or maybe they will just do it anyway. Let's fuck it, right? But I feel like that's something that Apple is trying to figure out. If they can't, then they will probably just do it if their minds are set to it, right? But yeah, I don't know. I just have my my cable with me all the time. I just plug it into the iPad and charge my phone if I have to. So that's it. That's that done.